The first strange thing was not what I heard. It was what I didn't hear anymore. I rented a small house outside a quiet town. One floor, a basement, trees behind the backyard. I moved there to be alone after a rough year. The landlord said the last tenant left in a hurry. I didn't ask questions. The first few days felt normal. The house had its usual sounds. The heater clicked. The floor creaked near the kitchen. At night, I watched TV and drank tea around 9:30. On the fourth night, I heard footsteps outside, soft, slow, like someone walking on wet leaves. I muted the TV. The sound stopped. I looked out the window. Nothing. Just trees. I told myself it was an animal. The next morning, the back gate was open. I was sure I closed it. It always squeaked loudly. A day later, I saw muddy footprints near the basement door. Not animal prints, boot prints. Big ones. I asked the landlord. He smiled and said, "The ground stays wet back there." Probably nothing. At night, the sounds came back. Always after dark. Always near the trees. Never voices, just movement. One evening, I noticed a patch of grass near the fence pressed flat, like someone had been standing there for a long time, watching the house. That week, I finally checked the basement properly. The light flickered when I pulled the chain. Most of it was empty. On a shelf, I found a folded blanket. Next to it was an empty water bottle and a candy wrapper. They weren't old. The blanket was still warm. That night, I locked everything. Doors, windows, basement. I put a chair under the back door handle. Around 2 a.m., I woke up suddenly. No loud noise, just a feeling. Then I heard breathing. Not in my room. Somewhere deeper in the house. Slow, calm. I stayed perfectly still. The sound moved. Then I heard the basement stairs creak. One step, then another. I didn't sleep again. In the morning, the basement door was unlocked. I called the landlord. His voice was calm, but different now. He said the lock was old. I asked about the blanket. There was a pause. "That's probably from the last guy," he said. I asked why the last tenant left. Another pause. "He thought someone was coming into the house at night," the landlord said. Then he laughed softly. That same day, I installed a motion light in the backyard. That night, it turned on at 11:47. Bright white light filled the trees. A man was standing near the fence. Tall, thin, dark clothes. He didn't run. He didn't move. He was facing the house. The light turned off. When it came back on, he was gone. The next morning, I saw footprints again. They led from the fence to the basement door and stopped. Inside the basement, I found a chair under the stairs, facing up, like someone had been sitting there, listening. I packed my things and left that day. A month later, I drove past the house. Someone new lived there, lights on, car outside, but the trees behind the house were gone, cut down completely, and behind them was something I had never seen before. A small concrete room, half underground, with a door. So I still ask myself one thing. How long had someone been there before I moved in?